Hi there. My name is Diane, and I'm going to take you through a gentle yoga class. So if you care to join me on your mat, and we'll start today standing and just letting your palms shine forward and finding a comfortable standing position. So taking a moment here to take a beautiful full breath into your belly, and then exhaling, easing the breath out. Again, breathing in and then breathing out. You might even want to say to yourself, I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Again, I am breathing in and I am breathing out. To add another layer, stating, I enjoy breathing in. I enjoy breathing out. I enjoy breathing in. I enjoy breathing out. I'm saying that in your own mind 3 more times. And then noticing how you feel. Now, taking a moment to look down at your feet, seeing how they're lined up. If you have one foot out or both feet out, see if you can line them up so your second toe is pointing forward, your knees are tracking towards your toes. And we're just going to inhale here, reaching our arms upward, and then exhale, pressing our hands to palm center into Samasthiti. Inhale, letting our arms rise up, maybe into cactus pose. Exhaling and bringing your hands to Samasthiti. Inhaling this time, rising up onto the balls of our feet, just a tiny bit. And then exhaling, coming back down onto our heels. Inhale, rising up, pressing into the balls of your feet. Exhaling and coming back down. And just continuing with this 3 more times, to exploring that motion, seeing what's going on with your ankles, your abdomen. Practice pressing into your big toe, your second toe, seeing if you can become more stable. Now, if your ankle's winged out a bit, just means you need to use your inner thighs a little bit more, find your pelvic floor. So we're going to explore that. So let's go ahead and step forward with our right foot, bring our arms out to the side. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, just soften your shoulders, let your pelvic floor go. Notice how you might become a little wobbly. Now take an inhale here, staying your pelvic floor just sort of soft and supple. Now exhale, hug in, lifting up your pelvic floor and hugging your abs in. Now placing your arms back out, take an inhale, gazing over towards our right hand, exhaling to center. Inhale, gazing towards your left hand, exhaling to center. Inhaling towards your right, exhaling to center. Inhaling towards your left, and then exhaling to center. Now let's bring our heel in a little bit closer. So our heel and big toe are lined up, but they're not quite together. Maybe hands distance between our foot and our heel. Big toe down there and our heel. Now inhale, looking all the way over towards your left side. Exhaling to the right. Inhaling towards the left. Exhaling towards the right. And go ahead and do 2 more of those. Moving at your pace. And then bringing your head to center. Okay, let's bring our heel now perhaps a little bit closer so that now our heel and our big toe on our left foot, they're touching. Now just go ahead, take an inhale, Let your pelvic floor become nice and soft here. And then exhale. Hug it up and in. Let's bring our hands to palm center. So just letting your elbows hang, feeling your pelvic floor lift up, your lower abdomen's hugged in, and giving your inner thighs a little bit of a gentle squeeze and lift up, feeling your outer glutes become more active. Staying here for 2 more breaths. And then let's let that go. Shake your legs out. And we'll come into tandem stance on the other side. So letting your right toe come forward. Go ahead, inhale our arms up. Actually, your left toe, my right. Exhale, let your shoulders drop, let your elbows glide down. Now inhaling, gazing towards your left hand. Exhaling to center. Inhale, gazing towards your right. Exhale to center. Inhaling, gazing towards your left thumb. Exhaling to center. Inhale, gazing towards your right thumb. Exhaling to center. Now bringing your heel in, perhaps just a little bit more. Let's take an inhale. Just let your pelvic floor become really soft, your abdomen become soft. See what that does to your balance. Now exhale, lift your pelvic floor up and in, scoop your abdomen in. See if that creates more stability. Now inhale, gazing all the way over towards your left side. Exhaling towards the right. Inhaling towards the left. Exhaling towards the right. And go ahead and do 2 more, moving at your pace. And then coming back to center. Now see if you can bring your heel now towards your big toe. So the two are touching like you're standing on a tightrope. Now bringing your hands to heart center. Just a gentle squeeze of your inner thighs so they're active. Feel what's happening with your abdomen, lifting up through the crown of your head. Breathing in and out here, matching your inhalation with your exhalation. Maybe saying, I enjoy breathing in. I enjoy breathing out. 1 more breath. And then let's release that leg, shake your legs out a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and bring our feet apart. So they're just slightly wider than our hips. Bend your knees. And then like your face is looking through a window, keep your face in place and let your hips circle. So you let your right hip come out to one side and then back and then to the other and then forward. You can place your hands back down on your hips. Just circling your hips here. Notice what's happening to the muscles of your abdomen, your pelvic floor as you come forward. What happens as you go back? Slight bend to the knees. And maybe inhaling when you come forward, exhaling when you come back, but just breathing, whatever pattern you like. And then let's come to a still with our seat back, bending our knees here. Inhaling into our abdomen, our lower back. Exhale to let go. Now we're going to reverse the direction of our circle. So inhaling, letting our left hip come forward, keeping our head in place and circling around. This might feel a little bit different from one side to the other. Notice the transfer of energy from one foot to the other. And allowing your hips to open up as they come forward, and then just releasing them gently as they come back. And then coming to a still, let's bend our knees slightly, let our seat come back, and we'll just go ahead and bring our forearms onto our thighs. Now you can keep your toes forward if you like here, or you can let your toes just pivot out a tiny bit. So pressing your forearms into your thighs, and then away from the thighs, So you're getting some space in your shoulders. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. And breathing into your back, breathing into your abdomen, soft pelvic floor. Maybe inhaling, lifting up your toes just for a second so that you can feel the weight more in your heels, and then exhale, setting them down. All right, bringing your hands onto your thighs. Let's come up with a straight back. So pressing up. So if your toes are parallel, go ahead and bring them out a little bit. We're going to inhale, reach through our fingers, and then exhale, hugging your elbows in towards your side. Slight bend of your knees, letting your knees track over your first and second toe. Inhale, reaching up into star pose. Exhale, and coming down into horse. And let's do 4 more. Inhale to reach up, pressing into your heels, opening your hips. Exhale, coming down. And go ahead and do 3 more at your own pace. And then meeting at the bottom. Let's go ahead and shift our weight from side to side. And then come to a still. All right, placing your hands on your hips. Go ahead and lengthen your legs here. And then maybe bring your feet just a little bit more parallel. Okay, now bending your knees slightly. We're going to rotate our upper body around the base of our hips. Taking an inhale, exhale, leaning over towards the side. Exhale, coming forward, letting our seat reach back. Inhaling up towards the other side, and then letting your chest shine up towards the ceiling a little bit. So just circling, bending your knees as you come forward, lengthening your legs as you come up and around. And just doing circles that feel comfortable for your back. You can always go to a smaller pattern. And 1 more circle. Let's go ahead and meet in the front. Slide our hands down onto our thighs. And just breathing here as we come into our modified chair. And feeling the breath in your lower back and your abdomen. Letting your legs do the work. Okay, bring your hands onto your thighs. Let's come back on up. So we leaned over to the left. This time we're going to lean over to the right. So bending your knees slightly, inhaling, exhale, leaning over towards your right side, and then coming forward into your squat, inhaling up and around. Just gently warming up your hip joints, warming up your back. Experimenting with circles that feel comfortable. One more circle. And then let's meet in the front again, just letting our elbows rest on our thighs, pressing into our thighs and then away. Feeling the muscles behind and underneath your shoulder blades activating just a little bit here. Perhaps breathing in that space between your shoulder blades. Feeling a little bit of movement there. All right, let's bring our hands onto our thighs and then come up with a straight back. Okay, so heel toeing in, or you can press off one foot and the other. Coming back to your Tadasana, letting your palms shine forward and gazing down at your feet. How do they line up? Okay, see if you can get them so that they're more parallel. When we're out here, we're working our external rotators, and we have to bring our feet parallel. We're working our inner thighs just a little bit more. So we're going to rise back up. So we've worked on our inner thighs in tandem stance. We worked on finding our muscles as we circled. So recruiting that pelvic floor, your lower abs. We're going to inhale again, rise up on the ball of your feet. Keep everything secure. Exhale to come down. Inhale, letting your arms perhaps come up higher. Exhaling down. And go ahead and do 4 more of those. Whatever height feels comfortable for your arms. And then meeting at Samasthehi, hands at heart center, breathing steadily. And coming back to that mantra of our breath. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. I enjoy breathing in. I enjoy breathing out. 2 more breaths. All right, let's go ahead and go over to the right side of your mat. And let your toes point straight towards that right, right side. We're going to step our left leg back, coming into warrior one. So inhaling, letting your fingertips rest on your shoulders. Exhale, letting your shoulders just ease their way down. Now inhaling, lifting our arms up to where it feels comfortable. You might pretend you're holding a beach ball overhead. And then exhale, letting your elbows just widen slightly so they disappear. Now inhaling, rising onto the ball of your back foot. Exhale, pivoting to warrior two. So now you're in your surfer stance. And so you might make some adjustments, making sure that your right knee is stacked over your right ankle. And the outer edge of your back foot is roughly parallel to the back edge of your mat. So let's go ahead and gaze towards our front hand, our right fingertips, reaching through your fingertips. Feel like you're stretching the mat apart with your feet. Matching the length of your inhalation with your exhalation. Almost as if though you're surfing with your breath. Now we're going to inhale, lifting up our right heel. Exhale, stepping down and then coming into reverse warrior, like you're taking a ball and throwing it behind your left foot. And you can wrap your left arm behind you or place your hand on your thigh. Staying here for 4 breaths. Pressing on the outer edge of your back foot. And then coming back up to your warrior two, reaching through your fingertips. And then bringing your hands on your hips. Let's go ahead and rotate our right foot so it's parallel now with our left. So we're going to bend our left leg slightly. A little slight bend here. Take an inhale here. And then we're going to exhale, push off this leg to join the one at the other side of the mat. So push off and join. Inhale to reach out. Exhale, push off and join. Squeeze your thighs together. Do 2 more. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, squeeze and come to center. Once more, inhale, reaching out. Exhale, activating your inner thighs as you come to center. All right, let's go ahead. Inhale to step out, and then exhale, placing your hands on your hips. Inhaling here, and then exhaling, just bringing your heels in slightly and coming back to our chair. Breathing in and out in your lower back, in your abdomen. And then maybe bringing our hands down to the floor. See if you can keep a straight back here. We'll walk our hands over towards the left side. Breathing into your right side body. And keeping your tail up. Walking your hands back to center. Taking 2 centering breaths here. And then walking your hands over to the right side, breathing into your left side body. Walking back to center. And then bringing one forearm to one thigh and one to the other. Taking 1 breath here. And then hands to your thighs, gently pressing up. And you can heel toe your feet together. Or just press one off one foot and then the other, coming back to your Tadasana. letting your palms shine forward and pressing your heels gently into the ground and then away from the ground. All right, let's go ahead, turn now, and come to the left side of our mat. So bringing your right leg back, coming into warrior one, fingertips are on your shoulders. Inhaling here, lifting your shoulders up, and then exhale, just letting your shoulders glide down. Now inhaling, reaching your fingertips up towards the ceiling, rising onto the ball of your back foot. Exhale and pivoting to your warrior two. So making sure that your left knee is stacked over your ankle and you're pressing on the outer edge of your back foot so you can find the arch underneath your foot and just feel like you're reaching, widening your fingertips, stretching the mat apart with your feet. Creates a feeling of grounding. Now reaching through your fingers, opening up your chest, opening up the space between your back. And then let's go ahead and gaze now over towards our left fingertips. Inhale, rising onto the ball of your left foot, lifting your left heel up. Exhale, pressing that heel down, and then coming into reverse warrior, like you're throwing a ball with your left hand, tossing it behind you. You can wrap your right arm behind your back or place it on your thigh. Staying here for 4 breaths. And then slowly unraveling, coming back to your warrior two, reaching through your fingers. And let's go ahead and bring your left foot parallel. Okay, so now we're going to bend our right leg. So a little bit of a bend here. And tap your right leg. Inhale, exhale. Lift your abdomen up and in, press off with your foot, and come to Tadasana. Inhaling, perhaps reaching out. Exhale, pressing your legs together, compress your hands together. 2 more. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, pressing to center. Inhale, reaching out gracefully. And then exhale, recruiting your muscles to center. So a little squeeze of your inner thighs, a lift of your lower abs. Staying here for 3 more breaths. You can always bring your feet apart a little bit more. Perhaps using your breathing mantra. All right, let's go ahead and set to the center of our mat now and just shake it out. And then coming to a still. So we're going to take a circle towards our right and count how many steps it takes. Okay, get your bearings. And now taking a circle towards our left. And counting how many steps that was. Okay, and then just letting your palm shine forward. And breathing deeply. Now we're going to bring our feet apart slightly. Bring your toes in and then just feel like you're stretching the mat apart with your feet. So our legs are now in internal rotation. You feel like your heels are bringing that mat apart. Notice which muscles are getting engaged. And breathing deeply and sensing what's happening with your body. All right, let's go ahead and bring our legs back to parallel. Now, applying some of that internal rotation, go ahead and do your circle to your right. Count how many steps it takes with some internal rotation. Get your bearings, taking a couple breaths here. Whenever you're ready, going the other way and applying some of that internal rotation. And just noticing how you feel. All right, let's go ahead and inhale our arms upwards, gazing at the window between our hands. And then exhaling, bringing our hands down onto our thighs. We're going to prepare to come down to the ground. So if you need to make an adjustment with your camera, feel free to do so. We'll take our time here. All right, so bringing one hand down when you're ready, and the same knee on that side. So we call this taking a knee in sports. And then bringing your other hand down and the knee down. Let's go ahead and take a seat and then pivot our legs around. So inhaling here, let's go ahead and exhale, unrolling one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, reaching our arms up and overhead. And then exhaling, hugging your right knee in towards your chest. And just letting your shoulders relax, your elbows relax, and then circling your big toe in one direction. And circling your big toe in the other direction. Coming to a still. Inhale, returning your right leg to join the left, reaching your arms up overhead, palms facing inward, and then exhaling, hugging your left knee into your chest. Go ahead and circle your big toe in one direction. And then circling your big toe in the other direction. Coming to a still, inhaling, returning your left leg to join the right, reaching your arms up and overhead like you're holding a beach ball between your hands. Exhaling, hugging your right knee into your chest. Inhaling, returning to long legs, arms reaching overhead. Exhale, hugging your left knee into your chest. Inhale, returning to long legs, arm reaching overhead, but keeping your ribs on the front body hugging your back body. Exhale, hugging your right knee into your chest. Inhale, reaching overhead. Keep your ribs hugged in. Exhale, hugging your left knee into your chest. And go ahead and do 4 more of those, exploring that movement, lengthening your body. While keeping your ribs from flaring. This exercise is really good for your lower back. And then when you've done those 4, bringing one knee in and then the other, just gently rocking from side to side. You can cradle your knees with your hands. And then coming to a still. Now circling your knees in one direction, like you're churning a stew with your knees. And notice what's happening around your tailbone. And then let's reverse the direction, going the other way. And then coming to a still. Now parting your knees slightly, just letting your elbows rest on the ground. You can support your legs on the outside of your thigh and your underneath your kneecap. And just trying to lengthen your spine here, ducking your chin slightly, opening up your shoulders to the floor, trying to press your tailbone into the earth. Now bringing your hands behind your thighs, go ahead and let your feet float up towards the ceiling to where it feels comfortable, coming into happy baby. Again, trying to keep your tailbone on the earth, on your mat. Keep your shoulders open and wide. Flexing your feet, spreading your toes, maybe gazing and looking at your toes on your left foot, and then gazing at the toes on your right foot. Now you can stay here if you like, or reach up towards your calves, or maybe towards your toes. And just drawing your knees in towards your armpits, trying to keep your tailbone in contact with the mat. Now you can remain here if you like, or you can gently rock your happy baby from side to side. And then coming to a still. Let's go ahead and place your hands on the outside of your knees, and then taking your time, close your knees back together, bringing one foot on the ground and then the other. Let's go ahead and place our feet wide on the mat. So just our heels are on the mat and our toes are off. You can bring your arms out like airplane arms or cactus arms. Inhaling here, exhaling, and letting your knees drop over towards your left side. Inhaling to center, exhaling, and letting your knees drop over towards your right side. Inhaling to center, exhaling, letting your knees drop over towards the left, and then maybe gazing towards the right side of your mat. Inhaling to center, exhaling, letting your knees drop over to the right, and maybe letting your chin point to the left side of your mat. Now inhaling your legs all the way over to the left side, letting your chin point over to the right, and just staying here for 4 breaths. Again, you might repeat your breathing mantra. One more breath. Slowly bringing your knees to center, and then letting your knees drop over towards the right, and letting your chin perhaps point away to the other side if that's comfortable for your neck. And staying here for 4 breaths, perhaps stating, I enjoy breathing in, I enjoy breathing out. Slowly bringing your knees back to center. And let's go ahead and walk our feet a little bit closer, and then bring our hands down alongside us. Making sure that our heels aren't too far away. We're going to come into some bridge poses. If your heels are too far out, it's really more difficult to lift. So if you bring them in a little bit closer, finding that sweet spot. So first, we're going to inhale and just press your tailbone down into the earth, feeling a little bit of a bubble under your lower back. And then exhale, pressing down on that bubble and lifting your tailbone up, your low back. Inhaling to lift your hips a little bit higher, feeling your seat muscles and your hamstrings activate. And then exhaling, unrolling one vertebrae at a time, low back, and then your tailbone greet the mat. Inhaling, first pressing your tailbone into the mat, feeling that bubble underneath your lower back. Your hips are rocking forward. Now exhale, squishing that little bubble, lifting up your tailbone. Your hips are rocking towards you. Inhaling to lift a little bit higher, and then staying here for 1 breath. Inhaling when you're ready to press into your heels. Exhaling, unrolling one vertebrae at a time. Now, first inhaling to ground, let your tailbone greet the earth, press into the mat. Exhale, lifting your tailbone off the earth, your lower back, part of your mid back as you inhale to lift higher. Exhaling, staying here, and then remaining here for 2 breaths. Inhaling, and then exhaling, unrolling one vertebrae at a time. First, taking an inhale to lengthen your spine. Feel that bubble underneath your lower back. Exhale, lifting up your tailbone, your lower back, part of your mid back. Inhaling to send your knees reaching down towards the end of your mat. Exhaling, firming up your abdomen. And then staying here for 3 more breaths. Keeping your gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhaling, exhaling, unrolling one vertebrae at a time. And let's bring one knee towards your chest and then the other, gently rocking from side to side. And then coming to a still. Let's go ahead and inhale, lengthening our left leg on the mat, hugging your right knee in. And then exhaling, guiding your knee with your left hand, cradling your kneecap over towards your left side. You can rest on your left elbow here. And then your right hand is on your hip. And go ahead and tap your hip or just give a little bit of a massage on your seat. And then reaching your fingertips away from you. And just trying to carefully and gently let your right shoulder greet your mat. And softening your jaw here. Staying here for 2 more breaths. Slowly rolling onto your back, hugging your knee into your chest once again. Now let's go ahead and bring our left leg in, stretch our right leg alongside the mat. Inhaling here, exhale, guiding your knee across you towards your right side. You can rest on your right elbow and then let your left hand rest on your hip for a moment. Go ahead with cat claws. If there's an area that's a little tight, just kind of massage that a little bit. And then reaching your left fingertips away from you. Gently letting your left shoulder greet your mat. Staying here for 2 more breaths. Slowly rolling onto your back, hugging both knees into your chest and rocking from side to side. Placing one foot on the ground and then the other. Let's go ahead and roll towards the camera, so onto your right side. And we're just resting either on your hand or on your elbow. You can also place a block underneath you. So we're going to work a little bit on the outer part of our leg here and your medial glutes here. So inhaling, lifting our knee up towards the ceiling, keeping your feet together, creating a diamond pattern here, and then exhaling, bringing your knees together. Inhaling to lift, and then exhaling, letting your knees come down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, lifting up your knee, exhaling down. Inhaling to lift your knee up, and then exhaling down. Now you can keep one foot on top of the other, or you can lift your foot up. Inhale, lift your knee up. Now exhale, letting your knee greet the other. So now we're coming into a little bit of internal rotation. Inhale, lifting your knee up. Exhale, letting your knee greet your other knee. And go ahead and do 2 more. Inhaling, knee rises up. Exhaling down. Inhaling your knee up. Exhale down. And now inhale, lifting your knee up. And just go ahead and hug the back of your leg here. Exhale, soften. Now inhale, reaching your foot up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and flex your foot. And then exhale to return down. Inhale, reaching that heel up, spreading your toes. Exhale, pointing your toe to come back down. Inhale, reaching up, sending energy through your heel up towards the ceiling. Exhaling down. And one more. Inhale, reaching up. Now we're going to exhale and stay here. If you want, you can take this bottom foot and reach it down towards the end of your mat. Flex your toes so you have a wider base of support. And then placing your left hand inside here, you're going to take an inhale and count of 5. We're going to lower our leg. 5, 4, 3. Oh, exhaling down. 2, 1. And then just lying on your side, reaching your fingertips away from you, your toes away from you. Nice long body stretch here. And then let's go ahead and bend our knees. So pressing into your left hand and your right elbow, you're going to press up, gaze down at your fingers, coming into a mermaid stretch. Breathing deeply into the left side of your neck, into your left shoulder. Perhaps feeling the breath behind your left shoulder blade. And then coming into our yogic seat. Let's go ahead, bring our feet together and just hugging your knees. Go ahead and bring your elbows back, roll forward onto your seat bones. Inhaling your shoulders up towards your ears, and then exhaling, letting your elbows glide down. Inhaling, shoulders up towards your ears, exhaling down, and try to smooth that out. Doing that 2 more times, just moving gracefully with the breath. All right, so we're going to bring our knees now off towards the other side. Come into mermaid. We're going to crawl down. So our knees are pointed towards one another. Again, we're just on the other side now. So we're going to inhale our right knee up towards the ceiling, keeping your toes together. Exhale, and giving your inner thighs a little gentle squeeze. Inhaling, your knee rises up. Exhaling down, and doing 2 more. Inhaling up, exhaling down, and 1 more. Inhaling up, and then exhaling down. Now lifting your back foot off if you like, or you can keep your toes together. Inhale, lifting your knee up. Exhaling down. Inhale, lifting your knee up. Exhaling and letting your knees just greet one another. 2 more. Inhaling to lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lifting your knee up. Exhaling down. Now inhaling, lifting up your knee, placing your right hand behind your thigh. Exhale, softening your shoulders. Now inhale, reaching that right heel up towards the ceiling, flexing your feet or your foot. Exhale to point your foot. Inhale, reaching your toes up towards the ceiling, your heel up towards the ceiling, flexing your foot like you're trying to push the ceiling away. Exhale to repoint. And just doing 2 more of those, moving at your pace. Now on this last one, let's go ahead, reach up, stay there. Now carefully, you don't have to do this, you can keep your bottom leg bent, just reaching that bottom leg down towards the end of your mat, flexing your foot so you have a bigger base of support, and then bringing your right hand in front of you. We're going to lower this leg, inhaling here, exhaling a count of 5, 4 as we lower, 3, 2, 1. And then inhaling, stretching through your fingertips, stretching through your toes, exhaling and bending your knees. So using your right hand, your left elbow, we're going to press up and gaze down at our hands and just feeling as you breathe in the breath spiraling down into the right side of your back, underneath your right shoulder blade. using the breath to help massage the right side of your neck. And then coming back into your yogic seat. Now, if you have a towel nearby or a cushion or even your sweatshirt, you can even roll up your mat. You sit a little bit on your mat or block. It helps you sometimes to come into more comfortable seat. So we'll take an inhale here. Exhale, lean gently over towards your right side, just a few inches, and then forward, but with a straight back. Inhaling back and around, and just circling with the breath here. And letting your body become really supple. And then let's meet in our tall seat. Inhaling here, exhaling, and going the other direction, leaning over towards your left side and coming forward. Inhaling back and around. And just feeling the shift of energy as you go from one seat to the other. And when you come forward, try not to round your back. Try to keep your chin relatively level. We're lengthening our spine rather than rounding our spine here. Letting our heart lead the way. It's almost as if our heart is an eye scanning the area around us. And then coming up to center. All right, let's go ahead and extend our legs now, reaching our feet forward and then placing your hands behind you. Inhaling to flex your toes, spread your toes out wide, and then exhaling, just stretching your ankles. Inhale, flexing your toes, spreading your toes wide. Exhaling to point. This time, inhaling, flexing your toes, lifting up your chest, but keeping the back of your neck long, maybe pressing into the heels of your hands. Exhaling, pointing your toes and letting your gaze come downward as you stretch the back of your neck. Inhale, lifting up your toes, lifting up your heart, maybe your nose slightly. Exhale, pointing your toes, hugging your abdomen in, ducking your chin in as you stretch and elongate the back of your neck. And go ahead and do 4 more of those. Inhaling to flex your toes, open up your chest, soften your belly. Exhale, point your toes, hug your abdomen in, gaze downward. 3 more. And then meeting in Dandasana. So flexing your toes strongly, maybe walking your fingers now over to the outer edges of your mat. I'm going to bring this out of my way here. So pressing into your heels, your seat, like you're pushing away from the earth, ducking your chin slightly. You're using your muscles in your core here, firming up your quads, reaching through those heels, breathing in and out here. You'll feel your breath more in your upper chest, your upper back, just above your navel, keeping your core strengthened as you're lengthening through your spine. One more breath here. And then let go of that a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and bend our knees. I'm going to come to a side view. You can too. We'll work on our core just a little bit here. So we're going to inhale to hug our elbows backwards, roll forward onto our seat bones, feel a soft belly here. And then exhale, hug your abdomen in as you lengthen your arms, coming into a modified boat. Inhaling, soft abdomen, letting it maybe float forward a little bit. Exhale, hugging your abdomen in as you lengthen your arms, trying to keep your back straight here rather than rounding. Nice, straight, long back. Inhaling forward. Exhale, hugging your navel towards your spine as you come back. And inhaling up. Exhale, hugging your abdomen in. You can keep your hands behind you or let your hands come forward. Inhaling up. Exhaling back, inhaling up, exhale, drawing back and drawing that navel in. One more, inhaling up, exhaling back. Let's go ahead and inhale, come on up, lifting our chest, drawing those elbows back. Now we're going to exhale, unrolling one vertebrae at a time, coming back to the mat. And rest on your elbows first and then reach back, reaching through your fingertips, reaching through your toes. And then exhaling, hugging your right knee into your chest. Let's go ahead and flex both feet strongly. So flexing your left foot, your right foot, feeling that space between your toes, and firming up the back of your left thigh, your left seat. And then go ahead, soften your feet. Let's go ahead and bring the left foot in. Extend your right leg alongside the mat, flexing both feet strongly, spreading your toes, reaching through that right heel, firming up the back of your right thigh, your right seat, and then letting that go. Okay, let's bring that right knee into your chest. Now placing your hands behind your thighs. We're going to inhale, reach both heels up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, pointing your toes, returning to your tabletop. Inhale, reaching your heels up towards the ceiling. If you have a strap or a sweatshirt, you can put it behind your thighs. Exhale, pointing your toes, coming back to your tabletop. Go ahead and do 3 more, moving at your pace. Gently stretching your hamstrings. Nice and warm from all that we've done. And then let's meet at the top. And if your knees are slightly bent, that's fine. Staying here for 4 breaths. And Viparita Karani, upward legs. Slowly bending your knees when you're ready, placing one foot on the floor and then the other, and placing your hands on your hips. Take an inhale together. Exhale, letting your knees just drop out towards the side, pressing your feet together, coming into your butterfly pose. Breathing into your hip joints. Maybe feeling the breath move in your fingertips. Allowing the breath to dissolve tension that's in your hips. Now, if you don't love this pose, you can do the reverse of it where you bring your knees in instead and let your heels, outer edge of your feet, come to the outer edges of the mat. But choose which one you like. And just breathing into your hips, breathing into your lower back, allowing the breath to be effortless. Allowing the breath to dissolve tension. You can keep your hands here or bring your hands up to cactus arms and opening up your chest as well. And breathing into your shoulder joint. Exhaling and dissolving tension in your shoulders. And breathing into the muscles of your chest and your shoulders. Exhaling and dissolving tension. And staying with that for 2 more breaths. Now breathing into all 4 points, into your hips, your shoulder joints, and then exhaling, dissolving the tension in your hip joints and your shoulders. Breathing down deep into your hip joints, your shoulders. Exhaling, easing the breath out from your hip joints and your shoulder joints. Staying with that for 2 more breaths. And then bringing your hands to your outer thighs, slowly guiding your knees together. Bringing one knee into your chest and then the other, gently rocking from side to side. And then extending one leg on the mat and then the other. Go ahead and press into your elbows, just lifting the back of your shoulders off the mat slightly and letting your outer shoulders just roll to the outer edges of your mat and then setting your shoulders down. And coming back into your breath, imagining that your body is like the ocean. And perhaps imagining just around your navel is a little lifeguard ring. And you're inhaling into your navel, feeling and seeing that lifeguard ring rise up with the swell of the breath. Exhaling and letting go, and seeing that lifeguard ring go down. Inhaling, letting the breath rise and surge. Exhale and letting it go. Staying with that. With each breath, just letting yourself sink a little bit more deeply into the mat. And then deepening your breath, allowing your front body with each breath to feel a little lighter. Almost as if the breath is like a helium balloon, letting your heart feel lighter, letting your abdomen feel lighter, letting your face feel lighter. And that same feeling of lightness, allow that to also extend to your back body. The space between your shoulders feels lighter, or your lower back feels lighter. Even the back of your head feels lighter, your seat, almost as if you're floating with the breath. And when you're ready, Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Go ahead and bend one knee, placing your foot on the floor, and then bend the other, placing your foot on the floor, and then rolling over towards your favorite side. Breathing into your top side body, and then exhale and softening into the part of your body that's on the earth. And then gently, using your hand and elbow, just pressing yourself up sideways from the floor, and then coming into your yogic seat. And notice how you feel. Sthira Sukham Asanam. Steadiness and ease as you take your seat. And together, let's go ahead and inhale, reaching our arms outward and upward. Exhaling, letting our thumbs glide along our third eye, our nose, our chin, and then to the space of our heart. Inhaling together and exhaling, honoring the space of your heart. Thank you so much for sharing your presence and your yoga practice and for being part of the JCC. Peace to you and all of those that you care about, both near and far, and within your heart. Until we meet again, Dhanyavad. Thank you.